Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the Tesla Model 3. And I've got to say, this car continues to be one of the most exciting electric vehicles on the market. Whether you're a longtime Tesla fan or just curious about making the switch to electric, stick around because we're covering everything you need to know about this game-changing sedan. So let's just jump right in. The Model 3 has been around since 2017, and it really was the car that made Tesla accessible to a much wider audience. Before the Model 3, Tesla was mostly about luxury performance with the Model S and the Model X. But the Model 3? This was Tesla's promise to bring electric vehicles to everyday drivers. And honestly, they delivered in a huge way. Now, what makes the current Model 3 so special is the massive update it received for the 2024 model year, what fans call the Highland refresh. And let me tell you, this wasn't just a minor facelift. Tesla took all the feedback from owners over the years and really refined this car into something seriously impressive. For 2025, the Model 3 carries over these improvements with minimal changes. But that's actually a good thing because the updates from last year were so comprehensive. Let's talk about what you see first when you approach the car. The exterior design has gotten sleeker and more sophisticated. Gone is that somewhat polarizing front end that some people said looked a bit too simple, or even fish-like. The new headlights are slimmer and more aggressive, giving the Model 3 a sportier, more premium appearance. The front bumper has been smoothed out too, and there are no more fog lamps, which contributes to that ultra-clean aesthetic that Tesla is known for. Around the back, you've got redesigned LED taillights with brighter elements that really pop at night. The wheel designs are all new as well, and they help give the car a more modern, dynamic look. But here's the thing about the Model 3's design that I really appreciate. It's not trying to be loud or flashy. It's elegant in its simplicity. The lines are clean, the proportions are spot on, and it has this timeless quality that means it's not going to look dated in 5 years. The real magic happens when you step inside, though. This is where Tesla made the most significant improvements with the Highland update. First thing you'll notice is the new LED light bar that runs across the entire dashboard. It's not just for show either. This ambient lighting system can change colors and really transforms the cabin atmosphere, especially at night. It's those little touches that make the Model 3 feel special. The dashboard itself has been completely redesigned. There's now this beautifully integrated full-length air vent that's tucked under a small ledge on the dash. Tesla hid the vents rather than making them a prominent design feature, which keeps that minimalist aesthetic they're going for. And speaking of minimalism, the steering wheel no longer has stalks. Now this is one of those controversial changes that people have strong opinions about. The turn signals and gear selector have been moved to buttons on the steering wheel and the touchscreen. Some people love the cleaner look. Others find it takes some getting used to. I'll be honest, it's definitely different. And there's a learning curve. But Tesla believes this is the future of car controls. What everyone can agree on, though, is that the interior quality has taken a massive step up. The materials feel more premium throughout the cabin. The faux leather upholstery now features perforations, which not only looks better but also feels more upscale. And here's something that owners are really going to appreciate, especially if you live in a hot climate. Both heated and ventilated front seats now come standard across all trim levels. No more paying extra for cooled seats. The seating position and ergonomics have been improved too. The seats are more supportive and comfortable for long drives, and there's good adjustment range to find your perfect driving position. Now, one interesting quirk about the Model 3 is that glass roof. It looks absolutely stunning and gives the cabin an airy, spacious feel. But here's the catch. In hot climates, that glass roof can turn the cabin into a bit of a greenhouse. On a hot day, you're going to need those cooled seats running at full blast along with the air conditioning, and it can take a good 25 minutes or so to get the cabin to a comfortable temperature. It's a trade-off for that beautiful aesthetic. One of the coolest additions to the interior is the new 8-inch touchscreen for rear passengers. This is mounted on the back of the center console, and it gives people in the back control over climate settings and entertainment. They can even watch movies on it. This is a really nice touch for families or if you frequently have passengers, because let's face it, nobody wants to constantly bug the driver to adjust the temperature. Let's talk about that central touchscreen, because it's still the command center for pretty much everything in the car. It's a large display that handles navigation, media, vehicle settings, and even things like the gear selector. Now, Tesla's interface is really intuitive once you learn it, but there is that initial adjustment period where you're figuring out where everything is. The navigation system is excellent, especially for planning charging stops. It'll automatically route you through Tesla's Supercharger network and tell you exactly how long you need to charge at each stop. One thing the Model 3 doesn't have is Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Tesla's reasoning is that their built-in system is so good you don't need it. You can connect your phone via Bluetooth for calls, and the car has built-in streaming services like Spotify, YouTube, and Netflix for when you're parked and charging. Some people don't mind this at all, while others really miss having CarPlay. It's definitely something to consider if you're heavily invested in the Apple or Google ecosystem. Now, let's get to the really exciting stuff. Performance. Tesla offers the Model 3 in 3 different configurations for 2025, and each one has its own character. Starting with the base model, you've got the long-range rear-wheel drive. This one has a single electric motor at the rear making about 286 horsepower. That might not sound crazy on paper, but remember, electric motors deliver all their torque instantly. In real-world testing, this base Model 3 hits 60 miles per hour in around 4.6 seconds. That's seriously quick for a base model sedan. To put it in perspective, that's faster than most sports cars from just a decade ago. The EPA estimates this rear-wheel drive long-range model at 363 miles of range on a full charge. That's excellent, and it means for most people, you're only charging once a week or even less if you're just doing daily commuting. Real-world range tests have shown it gets pretty close to that EPA estimate too, which is impressive. In mixed driving with 60% city and 40% highway, testers have observed around 338 miles of range. Step up to the long-range all-wheel drive, and you add a second motor at the front. Now you've got dual-motor all-wheel drive with a combined 394 horsepower. The 0 to 60 time drops to about 4 seconds flat, and you still get excellent range at 3 and 46 miles. The all-wheel drive system isn't just about performance either. It provides better traction in rain and snow, so if you live somewhere with harsh weather, the RWD model is definitely worth considering. Then there's the performance model, and oh man, this thing is an absolute monster. We're talking 5 on 10 horsepower from the dual motor setup. Tesla claims it'll hit 60 miles per hour in 2.9 seconds, and independent testing has confirmed around 2.8 to 3.0 seconds. That's Porsche 911 territory. That's supercar acceleration, and you're getting this in a practical 4-door sedan that starts at around $55,000. The performance model also gets adaptive suspension with dampers that adjust based on road conditions and your driving style. There are bigger brakes, staggered wheel and tire setup, and special aerodynamic elements. Inside, you get sport bucket seats and additional settings on the touchscreen, including a track mode that lets you adjust how the power is split between the front and rear motors. The performance does sacrifice some range for all that power. It's EPA rated at about 296 to 298 miles, but honestly, that's still pretty solid for such a performance-focused car. In real-world highway testing at 75 miles per hour, it achieved around 260 miles of range. One thing that really sets the Model 3 apart is how it drives. That low center of gravity from the battery pack mounted in the floor gives the car incredible stability in corners. The steering is accurate and has 3 different weight settings you can choose from. The ride quality with the Highland update is noticeably better than the pre-refresh model. It's firm but not harsh, and the cabin is significantly quieter thanks to additional sound-deadening materials and more acoustic glass. Tesla really listened to feedback about road noise and wind noise, and they addressed it. The handling is crisp and engaging. This is a car that genuinely feels fun to drive, even in the base configuration. And that instant electric torque? It never gets old. Every time you step on the accelerator, there's this immediate surge of power that just puts a smile on your face. No waiting for a transmission to downshift or an engine to rev up. Just instant, smooth, silent acceleration. Charging is another area where Tesla has a huge advantage. The Supercharger network is simply the best fast-charging infrastructure out there. There are thousands of Supercharger stations across the country, and they're strategically placed along major highways and in urban areas. The Model 3 can charge at up to 250 kilowatts at a Supercharger, which means you can go from about 5% to 80% in just over 30 minutes. That's enough time to grab a coffee and use the restroom on a road trip. Of course, you can also charge at home if you have a garage or driveway. With a 240-volt outlet or a home wall charger, you can fully charge overnight. For most people, this is how they'll charge 90% of the time. You just plug in when you get home and you wake up to a full charge every morning. It's actually more convenient than going to a gas station once you get used to it. Tesla also supports charging at other DC fast charging networks through adapters, and they're opening up the Supercharger network to other EV brands, which is great for the industry as a whole. Plus, you can charge at any standard 120-volt outlet. Though that's obviously much slower and really only practical for emergency situations, or if you're just topping off a bit of range. Let's talk about storage and practicality because this is an area where the Model 3 really shines. The trunk offers a surprising 21 cubic feet of cargo space, which is excellent for a sedan. There's also a deep well under the trunk floor that you can use for storing the charging cables or other items you want to keep out of sight. The rear seats fold down virtually flat, and the opening is nice and wide so you can fit surprisingly large items. I've seen people fit bikes, furniture, all sorts of stuff in this car. But here's the really cool part. Because there's no engine up front, the Model 3 has a frunk. That's a front trunk for those new to the EV world. It offers 3.1 cubic feet of additional storage space. It's perfect for keeping groceries separate from other cargo, or for storing items you want easy access to without opening the main trunk. Total cargo capacity is just over 24 cubic feet, which is genuinely impressive for a compact sedan. The rear seats are comfortable for adults, though headroom can be a bit tight for taller passengers because of the sloping roofline. Legroom is good though, and that rear touchscreen I mentioned earlier really enhances the passenger experience. Kids especially love being able to control their own climate settings and watch videos on road trips. Now let's talk numbers. Pricing for the 2025 Tesla Model 3 starts at $42,490 for the base long-range rear-wheel drive model. The long-range all-wheel drive comes in at $47,490, and the performance tops the range at $54,990. All three models qualify for the full $7,500 federal EV tax credit, which can significantly reduce your out-of-pocket cost, though you need to make sure the specific configuration you choose doesn't exceed the price caps for the credit. When you factor in that tax credit, the potential savings on fuel, and the lower maintenance costs of an electric vehicle, the Model 3 represents genuinely good value. You're not changing oil, there's no transmission to service, brake pads last much longer because of regenerative braking, and there are just far fewer things that can go wrong compared to a traditional car with an internal combustion engine. Tesla only sells direct to consumers through their website. There are no traditional dealerships, which means no haggling and no dealer markups. The price you see is the price you pay plus any options you add. You can customize your car online, choosing things like paint color, which, by the way, any color other than the standard white costs extra. The black and white interior combination is a $1,000 option on the long-range models, though it comes standard on the performance. There are other options like a roof rack, all-weather floor mats, and center console trays, but these are all pretty minor accessories. The cars come well-equipped as standard, with features like heated and ventilated front seats, navigation, premium audio with 17 speakers, and Tesla's autopilot system all included. Speaking of autopilot, this is Tesla's advanced driver assistance system, and it comes standard on every Model 3. It includes features like adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, and automatic lane changes on the highway. It's genuinely impressive technology that can make highway driving much less tiring. For city driving and more advanced features, you can upgrade to full self-driving, which costs extra. Though I should mention, despite the name, it still requires you to actively supervise and be ready to take control at any moment. Tesla is constantly improving these features through over-the-air software updates, which is one of the coolest things about owning a Tesla. Your car literally gets better over time. You might wake up one morning to find new features, improved range calculations, better performance, or enhanced safety systems. It's like having a smartphone on wheels. Recent updates have added things like blind spot cameras, improved dashcam functionality, and even the ability to release the charge cable by pulling the rear door handle. Now, how does the Model 3 compare to previous versions? Well, if you owned or drove a pre-Highland Model 3, the improvements are substantial. The ride is noticeably smoother and more refined. The cabin is significantly quieter, with better sound insulation making highway cruising much more peaceful. The interior materials feel more premium throughout. The seating is more comfortable with better support, and those standard ventilated seats are a game changer in hot weather. The exterior styling is more sophisticated and mature. The new lighting elements, both front and rear, give the car a more upscale appearance. And that rear touchscreen for passengers is a genuinely useful addition that enhances the ownership experience for families. Performance and range are about the same as before. which was already quite good, so that's not a complaint. The efficiency remains excellent, which keeps your charging costs low. Build quality has improved too, with tighter panel gaps and better fit and finish overall. Early Model 3s had some quality control issues that Tesla has worked hard to address, and the current cars reflect those efforts. Now let's compare it to the competition. The Model 3 sits in a pretty unique spot in the market. Direct competitors include cars like the BMW i4, which is a fantastic electric sedan that's more expensive but offers a more traditional BMW luxury experience with better interior materials and build quality. The Hyundai Ioniq 6 is another strong contender with bold styling, good range, and competitive pricing. It's definitely worth a test drive if you're cross-shopping EVs. The Toyota Prius isn't a direct competitor since it's a hybrid, not a full EV, but it's in a similar price range and appeals to efficiency-minded buyers. The Polestar 2 is another option that offers Scandinavian design and a more traditional luxury feel. And if you're willing to consider SUVs, the Kia EV6, Chevrolet Equinox EV, and even Tesla's own Model Y are worth looking at, though the Model Y doesn't yet have all the Highland updates that the Model 3 received. What sets the Model 3 apart is really the total package. The combination of performance, range, charging infrastructure, technology, and value is hard to beat. The Supercharger network alone is a huge advantage that can't be overlooked if you plan to take road trips. And the software experience, while controversial in some ways, is genuinely advanced and continues to improve over time. Safety is another area where the Model 3 excels. Previous model years have earned top safety ratings from both NHTSA and the IIHS. The 2023 model got a 5-star overall score from NHTSA, and the 2024 model received good scores from IIHS in the crash tests that have been conducted so far. The 2025 model hasn't been fully rated yet, but there's no reason to expect it won't perform similarly well. The Model 3's structure is incredibly strong, and the low center of gravity from the battery pack makes it very difficult to roll over. All the standard safety tech like automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, and blind spot monitoring are included. Plus, you've got those cameras all around the car providing a 360-degree view for parking and maneuvering. One thing to be aware of is the ownership experience. Tesla's approach is different from traditional automakers. Service is handled through Tesla service centers or mobile technicians who can come to your home or office for many types of maintenance. Some owners love this approach. Others have had frustrating experiences with wait times or communication. It's definitely more hit or miss compared to a traditional dealership network. The cars do need less maintenance overall, though. No oil changes, no transmission service, no spark plugs to replace. You need to rotate the tires, replace the cabin air filter occasionally, and top off the washer fluid. Brake pads typically last the life of the vehicle, thanks to regenerative braking doing most of the work. The main maintenance item is tires, which can wear faster than on traditional cars due to the instant torque and the weight of the battery pack. Software updates have occasionally introduced bugs or issues that require subsequent updates to fix. It's rare, but it can happen. On the flip side, those same updates can add features and functionality that other cars would require you to buy a new model to get. It's a different ownership paradigm that has both advantages and potential headaches. So who should buy a Model 3? If you're looking for an electric sedan that offers great range, strong performance, cutting-edge technology, and access to the best charging network, the Model 3 is an excellent choice. It's particularly appealing if you can charge at home and do mostly local driving with occasional road trips. The efficiency means your cost per mile is incredibly low compared to a gas car. The performance model is perfect for enthusiasts who want supercar acceleration in a practical daily driver package. The value proposition there is just ridiculous when you consider what you're getting for the price. The long-range models are ideal for people who want maximum range and strong performance without the track-focused setup of the performance. If you're someone who absolutely needs Apple CarPlay, or if you prefer traditional controls like stalks and buttons for everything, the Model 3 might not be for you. Same if you live somewhere with harsh winters and frequently drive in deep snow. An all-wheel drive SUV might be a better choice, though the RWD Model 3 does pretty well in snow with winter tires. The Model 3 really is a game-changer, though. It's made electric vehicles accessible and desirable for mainstream buyers in a way that few other cars have. The Highland update addressed most of the valid criticisms people had about earlier versions. It rides better, it's quieter, it feels more premium, and it offers real value for the money. Is it perfect? No car is perfect. But the Model 3 represents such a compelling package that it's easy to see why it's one of the best-selling electric vehicles in the world. It's fun to drive, practical for daily use, road trip capable thanks to the Supercharger network, and it continues to improve through software updates. If you're considering making the switch to electric, the Model 3 absolutely deserves to be on your shortlist. Take one for a test drive, experience that instant electric acceleration, see how the minimalist interior works for you, and really think about your charging situation. For a lot of people, this car is going to be the perfect fit. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you found this deep dive helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more electric vehicle content. Drop a comment below if you have any questions about the Model 3 or if you're a current owner and want to share your experience. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay charged up and I'll see you in the next one.